The Zephyrian Colosseum erupted in thunderous roars as spectators from 17 different species filled the crystalline amphitheater. Ambassador Kextar adjusted his ceremonial headpiece, savoring the moment. Today would mark the ultimate demonstration of galactic superiority over the newest species to join their coalition, humans. Ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished beings, Kextar's voice boomed through bioacoustic amplifiers. Today we witness the final trial of species integration. The human representative will face our champion, Gorvak the Destroyer, in single combat. The crowd's enthusiasm was infectious. For millennia, the Galactic Coalition had maintained order through this ancient tradition. New species proved their worth in the arena, either earning respect through glorious defeat or, in the impossible case of victory, earning immediate elevation to the High Council. Humans had been disappointing. No natural armor, no venomous claws, no psychic abilities. Their technology was primitive, their physiology laughably fragile. The Coalition had almost rejected their application entirely, but protocol demanded the trial. Gorvak emerged from the eastern gate, his 4 massive arms flexing as the crowd chanted his name. Standing 12 feet tall with chitinous armor and retractable bone spikes, he had never lost a match. The Korthak warrior had defeated representatives from 43 species, each victory more spectacular than the last. Then the western gate opened. A collective gasp swept through the arena. Instead of a warrior in battle gear, a lone human walked onto the sand. She appeared to be middle-aged by human standards, wearing simple dark clothing and carrying nothing but a worn leather book. Dr. Sarah Chen paused at the center of the arena, seemingly unbothered by the 60,000 eyes focused on her. She opened her book to a marked page and cleared her throat. "What is this mockery?" Gorvak's translator rendered his growl into standard galactic. "Where is your weapon, little soft thing?" Sarah looked up calmly. "This is my weapon," she said, holding up the book. "Would you like to hear a story?" The arena fell silent. Even Kextar was speechless. In 3,000 years of gladiatorial combat, no one had ever responded to a challenge with a request to tell a story. "I will crush you like the pathetic creature you are," Gorvak charged, bone spikes extending from his forearms. Sarah didn't move. She simply began to read. "Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world." Gorvak stopped mid-charge. The words, translated instantly by his neural implant, carried an odd weight. The simple phrase painted a vivid picture: vast oceans, solitary wandering, the restless spirit of exploration. "It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating the circulation, whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth." The destroyer found himself listening despite his intentions. The human's voice carried across the arena with surprising power, and the words wove images of a strange, melancholic beauty. Around them, the crowd grew quiet, drawn into the narrative. Sarah continued reading from Melville's masterpiece. Her voice painting pictures of obsession, nature's terrible power, and the indomitable human spirit facing the vast unknown. As she spoke of Captain Ahab's monomaniacal quest, Gorvak realized something unprecedented was happening. He was afraid. Not of physical harm. The human posed no martial threat. But with each word, each carefully crafted sentence, something fundamental shifted in his understanding of this species. These weren't just primitives with crude technology. They were storytellers who could capture the infinite in finite words, who could make the abstract concrete, who could transform simple marks on a page into windows to other worlds. He piled upon the whale's white hump the sum of all the general rage and hate felt by his whole race from Adam down. 60,000 beings sat transfixed. The Zephyrians' crystalline forms refracted the arena lights in patterns that spoke of deep emotional resonance. The gaseous Vortani shifted their atmospheric bodies in rhythms that matched the story's cadence. Even the coldly logical archivists found their quantum processors struggling to categorize this new form of warfare. Because that's what this was, Kextar realized. Warfare of the most sophisticated kind. The human wasn't fighting Gorvak's body, she was conquering his imagination. I now know thee, thou clear spirit, and I now know that thy right worship is defiance. Gorvak sank to his knees. The great champion, undefeated in hundreds of battles, was overwhelmed not by superior strength or technology, but by the raw power of human narrative. The story revealed truths about struggle, purpose, and the cosmic indifference that all sentient beings faced. It showed that humans, despite their physical limitations, possessed something unique: the ability to find meaning in meaninglessness, to create purpose through sheer force of will and imagination. As Sarah closed the book, the arena remained silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, Gorvak raised all four arms in the traditional gesture of surrender. I yield, he whispered. I yield to the story warriors. The crowd erupted, but it was different from before. This wasn't bloodthirsty excitement, it was awe. In showing mercy, in choosing words over weapons, in demonstrating that true strength came from the ability to change minds rather than end lives, the humans had won something far more valuable than a simple gladiatorial victory. Ambassador Kextar approached Sarah with newfound respect. Dr. Chen, he said formally, the Galactic Coalition hereby recognizes humanity not as junior members, but as equals. Your people have shown us a form of power we didn't know existed. Sarah smiled, tucking the book under her arm. Every human carries libraries in their heads, Ambassador. We are all gladiators, and our arena is the realm of ideas. As she walked from the sand, 60,000 beings sat in contemplative silence, each carrying a piece of Captain Ahab's quest in their minds, and a new understanding of the species that had just joined their galaxy. The humans hadn't just won a fight. They had introduced an entire galactic civilization to the concept that the greatest victories came not from conquest, but from connection. And somewhere in the vast cosmos, a white whale swam through infinite digital seas, carrying the dreams of 1,000 worlds on its back.